Say hello to 12 new colors of distress glaze. Woo! I'm so excited. This is the new release by Ranger and Tim Holtz, and I'm really happy that I can show you these 12 colors in detail today. As you can see, I've prepared some swatches for you, and of course, I'm also going to create something with them today, and that is going to happen in this journal, which I've created in my last video. This is made out of a bubble wrap envelope, and I have to explain something now because there have been so many questions about this envelope. In this envelope, that is really simple, there have been these glazes and they have then been shipped to me. And when I had this envelope in my hands, I knew that I want to make myself a journal where I can try out some distress glaze techniques, and that's the reason why I've used this envelope for this journal. So you will see this in my upcoming videos again as well, because we are going to play around with these glazes in the future as well and trying out different techniques. And yeah, because of the fact that those glazes are so versatile, I need a whole journal because, you know, I need much space for all of the things that you can do with these mediums. Or I should say with this medium, because it's different colors, but one medium, you know. Okay, so in the first part of this video, I'm going to show you the colors in detail, and later on we are going to create a page in the journal. If you are following my channel for a longer time, you know that I have made myself this box here for all of my Ranger products. So this is a swatch box. There's also a playlist available how I made this. There are several different videos where I explain very detailed how I made these little guys in here. And even if you don't use Ranger products, then you could perhaps get some inspiration from this and make yourself something like this. I can only recommend that because you can get such a good imagination of the colors that you have, no matter which brand it is, no matter which medium it is. That is so helpful, and I'm so glad that I took the time to make this. So if you have missed this, let me quickly explain how I made that. So I will take out a few of these little guys here to show you that. So I have taken a die cut, and I've cut out a lot of these little folders here so that each color can have one folder. You can see the name here, so this is really handy so that I can find the colors that I'm searching for immediately and know the name, of course. And then I have made swatches of the different mediums. So on the front, for example, there's always Distress Oxide ink, and in the inside here, let me show you one that is a little bit more filled. You can see the other mediums that I have of this color. So for example, this is Saltwater Taffy. You can see here the oxide spray, here the spray stain, this is the paint, and this is the embossing glaze. And why am I showing you that? Because you might think, if you follow my channel for a longer time, these swatches here of the new glazes look very different than what you've seen in this older video where I made these. And that has a reason, and I want to talk about that reason because perhaps it's something that you want to have in mind or that you are thinking about when you make something like this. As you can see, I've swatched the glaze here on a coffee dyed card, which has white acrylic paint and black acrylic paint here. And I've swatched over this whole thing so that I can see how the glaze comes out on this brownish color, the white and the black. I've done that because I thought it's helpful. I mean, yeah. But in the meantime, I've realized that I really don't need this. Not all of this, yeah? And there's also a second thing that was a little bit difficult for me with this kind of swatch. I've realized that I mainly use my glaze on like brownish or beige paper and nearly never on white or black. That is a little bit weird because in the beginning I thought I want to have this, but then I realized I don't need that. But what I needed was something to imagine how a color can give a feeling or some kind of an emotion when it's in a context. And what is my context when I make junk journals? In the most cases, I have something that is stamped, or for example, book pages in the background, or some kind of writing, letters, or something like that. So I've decided to take this ledger paper here. This is just a little thicker paper. Originally it looked like this, and this is something that is representative, is that a word, for my junk journal pages. Yeah, so I've decided that I want to put my swatch onto this paper because now I can see it in a context and I can imagine way better how this would look on a journaling card, for example, or a tag or a junk journal page or something like that. Yeah, so this is now swatched on this beige color. So that also means that I have an imagination of how that will come out on most of the papers that I will probably use for my junk journal projects. So now I will show you the colors, and I want to mention, don't look at this little dot which is in the corner here that has the color name on it. I've printed these out from the Ranger website. They have a really big amount of those label sheets available for free, which you can download. You can just go to Ranger's homepage, and then you have to scroll down to the very bottom of the page, and there is a little link that says organize your Ranger products, and there you can find all of those label sheets. They are also available, you know, like rectangles for the ink pads, and also those rings for the re-inkers for the inks. And these are originally meant, I guess, for the paints, so that you can put them on the top of the paint bottle. But what I'm trying to say is that my printer, of course, doesn't print the real color. Yeah, so this is just for me so that I can see which color it is, that I can remember the name. If I accidentally throw this to my floor and I don't know which color it was, that is the only reason why I have put this here. But this is not how the glaze comes out. Yeah, and that's also for all of the others here. So please look at this here, or you can also stare at the little container here, but you can already see that the powder in the container is way different than on the paper. That's not only because mediums look different in a container than on the paper, but it's also because of the beige paper. Yeah, hope that makes sense. So this is abandoned coral. I have never thought that I would fall in love with such a color. It's so amazing. This color is just gorgeous. Then we have aged mahogany, a color that I've waited very long time for this, you know, to come out, because this is just such an amazing color. I mean, look. And this is so versatile. It's just gorgeous. If you already are a little bit in Halloween feeling mood, then you could be happy about the spiced marmalade. Really great color for Halloween, I would say, especially because the glaze, of course, has this glossy finish. Ah, wonderful. Then we have a squeezed lemonade, which always makes me thirsty because, yeah, I'm thinking about a cool drink when I see this color. Then Happy Dance, crushed olive. Sometimes I have really weird associations with the color names. It's a little bit sad that this is in such a small bottle. This is bundled sage because I would be happy to glaze my walls with this color. This is just so amazing. When I saw that bundled sage is one of the new colors, I was like dancing around in my room because this is just such an amazing color. Then we have here Maud Lawn, which is a challenge for me because this color is it's just such a beautiful green, but for me this is really hard to combine with other colors. But that's my personal thing, but it is good because we need challenges to grow, of course. Then we have peacock feathers. So wonderful. And mermaid lagoon. That makes me want to stop the camera and go swimming. But I'm not a mermaid. I have to stay here and finish this video. Chipped sapphire, which is the most surprising color for me in this line of the 12 new colors, because I have the oxide ink pad of this color and what else? I think the crayon. And this comes out really different in the shade of the color than the other both mediums that I have, and this is just amazing. I haven't tried it out with the other mediums of chipped sapphire, I mean oxide ink and the crayon, but that must be so gorgeous, because that is you know, it makes me a little bit speechless, because yeah, how is it possible to create such a blue? I mean, that is so, it's so intense, and you can't really describe it because it's just so outstanding. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. Really, really gorgeous. Another favorite is this one here, Seedless Preserves. I want to lick over this card because this looks just so yummy. And thank you, Tim and Ranger. Pumice stone. Finally, pumice stone. I mean, why did that take so long to bring this color out as the glaze? I have hickory smoke, and I mean, hickory smoke is close to pumice stone in the color chart, but I was always wondering, why don't they give us pumice stone? Because this color, I mean, you could take a spoon and put that into your coffee. Yeah, you need that every day. But now we have it, and I think I have to buy more of these because this is just an amazing color. Okay, so then we can start creating. I will take all of these and put them later on into my swatch box. And I want to mention something that could be interesting for those of you who are always watching my German and my English videos, what I really, really appreciate. And I want to mention something with these glaze videos, let's call them like that. Every time when you see this journal in the future, there's also going to be a German video available, yeah? When you watch this video in English, then there's already a German video which has the same theme, but probably something that is a little bit different when it comes to working in this journal. I have planned it like this. I have made 2 signatures, as you have seen in the last video. And the first signature is meant to use for my English videos, and the second signature is meant to use for my German videos. That means in my German video, I have created this page here today, and in the English video, in this video, I'm going to create this page. But you know what happens when you create 2 things with the same idea 2 times after each other, then it always comes out a little bit differently. So if you want to watch both videos, then you know when you see this journal, both videos will be a little bit differently. Yeah, I've also decided that for those of you who enjoy hearing me speaking German, I really, really appreciate that as well, because that's simply in a positive way not normal. Yeah. I don't know how I can say that in English, but in German we would say, das ist nicht normal. Yeah, that's not normal, but that's not meant bad, but the opposite way. Yeah, it's like really a compliment when we say, das ist nicht normal, that's not normal, because it's your time that you spend to watch those videos, and because of that I thought I will give you a different page that you can look at while you are trying to listen to my German. Yeah, do you know what I mean? For the background of my page, which I want to create now, I've chosen a relatively neutral design from the Tim Holtz backdrops. I've just cut that to size and glued that here to my page. I've left a little white frame. I thought that looks really nice in combination with the colors of the cover. And I'm also planning to use white on my design that I want to put here now. I've also glued a little bit of design tape here. That comes from this pack. The number of this is TH93358. And then I've also prepared this little thing here. This is just a piece of watercolor paper, 300 GSM. And I've cut that a little bit smaller than the backdrop is, so that I get this interesting frame around. And this is the piece that I first want to work on, and then later on I want to glue that down here to the page. And the first thing that I want to do here is I want to take a stencil and stencil it a little bit to this white background, because all of the glazes are translucent and everything that you have on your paper now will be shown through the color of the glaze. And that is really, really cool. And you can reach really amazing results with that and make really cool effects. So I have chosen this stencil also by Tim Holtz and Stamp is Anonymous, as well as this stamp, which I want to use in a second additionally. So the number of this stencil is THS159. These, these are the floral trims, CMS 461. So let's start with the stenciling. And I've prepared frayed burlap and pumice stone oxide ink because I want to have some neutral colors for the stenciling. I want to use my stamping platform, and as you can see, no one came to clean this. So I'm going to place this here. Where are my magnets? And then we are going to take this gorgeous stamp, and for that I'm going to use StazOn Jet Black. You could alternatively also use archival ink. The only reason why I'm using StazOn here is because I have this big ink pad and it's easy for me to ink the stamp. And now I'm going to turn this around to be able to stamp the rest here. Okie dokie. So next, when this is really dry, I'm going to add some Distress Micro Glaze over the entire surface with the help of this little thingy here, because the Distress Oxide ink is water soluble, of course. And in the next step, I want to add my Distress Glazes, and for that, I'm going to need some embossing ink. And, or of course you could also do it with water, yeah, but I have to apply this somehow. And if I want to use that and I have a water soluble medium below, then my dabber here will be stained and this will smear. And of course I don't want that. To avoid that, I'm going to take this, and I'm just taking a tiny little bit of this and then go over the whole surface. Okie dokie. Then we can decide for the colors that we want to put here. And I thought, since Ranger and Tim have given us pumice stone, we will definitely use some pumice stone here. That's also the reason why I've used the pumice stone here on the top. But here, in this case, I want to place that here on the bottom of this piece. over the frayed burlap oxide ink. I think that's a really great combination. And then I want to do something like a rainbow. But there are going to be some colors missing, I think, because bundled sage and peacock feathers have definitely to be part of this game, because yeah, just amazing colors. So let's see what else could match here really well. By the way, in the German video I've done it way more colorful, let's say it like that. So if you want to see that, you can find the video on my channel as well already. And now I'm going to apply the embossing ink directly with the dabber here. I'm using pumice stone distressed glaze first, and now I'm just throwing that on here. And then I'm going to melt this with my heat gun. And if you're new to embossing glaze, you can just do that like with any other embossing powder as well. Make sure that your heat tool is hot before it touches, well, not the tool, but before the heat touches the powder. And then you can just emboss it as you would do it with any other embossing powder as well. And this melts really, really fast. That is something that I really like about the glazes, because yeah, this is just so fast. I don't want to say that other embossing powders take forever to melt, but this is fast. This is just gorgeous, isn't it? Next, I want to use crushed olive, and I want to make another strip here. I would like to take this little girl here. This is a paper doll by Tim Holtz, and later on, meaning in the very end, I want to place her somewhere here. I'm just laying her down here to be able to imagine the next step, because I want to use this die cut here that comes from this set here by Zizix and Tim Holtz. The number is 664163, and I want to now cut out, I guess, 2 flowers from this background. And that is another cool thing that I really, really like about these distress glazes, that you can cut with your die cuts through this. And that is really, really gorgeous, because now we get 2 things in one step. We get a hole here, of course, where we can see the background through this. And we get a really nice flower at the same time that we can use either on this project as well or on another project. So I think I want to cut the first flower out here, and the second one a little bit more to the bottom, approximately like this, to make this background more interesting and the flowers more popping out. I think this could be a good material. I have absolutely no idea how this is called in English. I got that in a Happy Mail, and I think this is just an amazing material. Look. So then it looks like this, and I'm really happy with this sewing around here, because that gives it not only a frame but also, yeah, a little bit more black contrast, you know, fits really well to the stamping as well. And shall we already glue that down, or shall we think about some stamping around here as well? Ah, yeah, look. If this flower was here, for example, like so, that would look really nice, but we need another color and we need something that makes it pop out. But I don't want to lose the other colors completely. So I thought, why don't we take another glaze and put that over here. One possibility would be to use pumice stone again, I would say, so that this gets a little bit more grayish and with that darker. Or we choose something to put over that that makes this whole thing completely different. Bundled sage would also be great, I guess. Then we could stay in this more greenish color palette. Or what also could be a possibility is chipped sapphire. I don't know how much we will see from these colors then, but that should work really well with this color palette as well. I think I want to try that. Let's just go over this with the embossing ink. Let's put the chipped sapphire on top and let's see how that looks when it's melted. Oh, this is really, really amazing. Ooh, I love the mixture that we got there. And then, oh yes, look at that. That, oh my goodness. That is just amazing. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. I don't know if I like this girl anymore. She's the problem in this whole story. And I'm just thinking about taking her back. Look, what the heck. This is such a big difference. I think I really like this. This color is popping out now really much, and I really like that. And at the same time, it's matching the other colors. But I want to try to get something like splatters around the flower in this color. And for that, I've taken out this little guy here, this little stamp. And I thought perhaps I can somehow manage to stamp with that and then put some of the chipped sapphire glaze on that. I definitely don't like this. That looks absolutely terrible. I don't like how this stamp impression came out. It's no. There must be another solution. Definitely. Why are those things always happening a second before you are finished? I really can't understand that. So I'm taking faded jeans and ground espresso. Unfortunately, I don't have chipped sapphire distress paint. And I'm trying to get something like this color by mixing this. This is way too brown, Louise. Don't laugh. I can hear you. I think we need a more bluish blue. We need something like, let's try, what do I have? Price ribbon or something like that, or blueprint sketches, perhaps a little bit too blue. That is too blue. Perhaps. Uncharted Mariner is a little bit more turquoise-ish, but because he has peacock feathers below, yeah. That is of course not the same color, but it's relatively similar to what I have there. Yeah, I think I can live with that. So now I'm going to first, I need something to protect the white paper, because when the paint is touching the white paper below there, then we have the complete mess. I think that then I can take the page out from the journal and start from new, because that would soak up the whole paint. And then I'm going to repeat this step with white acrylic paint. But I also want to add a quote somewhere, perhaps here. I like throw kindness around like confetti. So then this is my finished page for today. I'm really happy about this. I hope you like it too. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to answer them as fast as possible. And I hope we will see the next time with another creative idea. Have a very great day and see you. Bye bye.